the factor of culture, the stage of culture. In esoterics, mysticism and esoterics are distinguished. Mysticism is a part of emotional consciousness, esoterics of mental consciousness. As a mystic, the individual pursues the path of the introvert subjectivist, and his envelopes are of departments 6, 4, 2. As an esoterician, he pursues the path of the extrovert objectivist, and his envelopes are of departments 7, 5, 3, 1. The mystic passes through the stage of development, which is called the stage of culture, to activate consciousness in the higher emotional molecular kinds in which vibrations, energies are attractive, and acquire through this activity higher emotional consciousness. The stage of higher emotional development is concluded with an incarnation as a saint in which the monad proves to have mastered all the problems of the stage, to have acquired all the requisite emotional qualities and abilities. If these are not activated in the following incarnations, they will remain latent, and only instinct, understanding will be left. The stage of culture of the individual is dominated by emotional vibrations of the higher kind, the attractive ones. Since these vibrations 48, 2 and 3 are above the individual's mental vibrations 47, 6 and 7, reason cannot assert itself against feeling and imagination, and is seen by the individual as almost as delusive. It is only at the stage of humanity 47, 4 and 5 that reason becomes sovereign also in emotionality and can fully dominate it. It should be pointed out that no one who has not reached this mental stage is in any position whatsoever to contact the planetary hierarchy. Its members work only with those who have acquired common sense and who have their emotionality under mental control. Real common sense is found only at the humanist stage. Also, only mentalists are able to assimilate the esoteric knowledge in a rational manner. Other people return it into belief systems with a deficient intellectual quality in various respects. The common sense of the humanist stage must not be confused with common sense in physical life, which is acquired on the higher levels of the stage of civilization. No one stands a chance of reaching the stage of culture if he has not acquired physical common sense before it. The stage of culture, or the stage of the mystic, presupposes that the individual has learned everything that he reasonably need learn in physical life. The mystic is no weak intellect, but has mastered principal thinking. 47, 6. The manifestation of useful idealism in an individual is a sign that he is approaching or has attained the stage of culture. His instinct led the way to him. Without the knowledge of the different stages of consciousness development, the result experience of life, he cannot grasp why his ideals cannot be realized just like that. Those young people are lamentable who lack this idealism, even if it is soon lost in the ongoing struggle for existence. For the absence of idealism indicates that the instinct of it is lacking, and their orientation in life is made more difficult when they do not have that subconscious fund of experience of life already had. It is useless demanding tolerance of those who are at the stage of civilization. Even if they recognize tolerance as a right on principle, it can never be spontaneous and natural until at the stage of culture. Differences of race, opinion, conversations of all sorts separate people, and superficial tolerance deceives only the life ignorant. The intelligentsia at the stage of civilization of course can study so as to grasp the Pythagorean Hylozoic mental system, and philosophers as well as scientists will eventually realize that this system is the only sustainable working hypothesis. This is not the way of reaching the stage of humanity, however, but the path to it goes through the faculty of attraction of the higher emotional stage, and the consciousness or unconscious application of the laws of life. Without attraction and the will to unity, no one shall reach the stage of unity. If the individual at the stage of culture has some knowledge of the fifth natural kingdom, his longing to reach that kingdom is often aroused, and the individual becomes an aspirant to discipleship. How long he must prepare for this contact with pointer hierarchy depends on the stage of development he has reached, and also on the intensity of his determination and staying power in his work to come up to the requirements for the acquisition of the consciousness of unity, the consciousness of community, the collective consciousness. Long before this will be possible, he must have learned how to live without friction with his fellow human beings, live and let live, refrain from criticizing and morally valuing them. He must have realized his responsibility for all, since we all influence one another, potentially are unity, the natural kingdom of mankind. Those who do not want to see the necessity of unity must be taught that lessons through an unlimited number of incarnations and different races, different religions, both sexes, etc., and the less willing they are, the more painful it will be to them. Not all people at the stage of culture had the opportunity of being integrated into esoteric knowledge orders, but had to walk through life feeling that they had ended up on the wrong planet, being unable to challenge massive technological superstition and its tyranny over thought. Even so-called history has been utterly unable to describe what really happened in the past, and so it is as fictitious as all the other traditional learning. Culture is ennoblement of emotionality. What makes mankind as a whole appear to be at or near the stage of barbarism, and makes certain people of higher stages relapse into barbarism, not to speak of the countless misdeeds of the Church in our times, those of Nazism and Bolshevism, is the repulsive basic tendency. Culture is above all cultivation of emotionality, acquisition of the qualities of emotional attraction. The stage of culture is characterized above all by emotional consciousness of abstraction. Where this is absent, there is no culture worthy of the name. This must be typical of all content of culture in all respects, an aspiration to understanding and will to unity. It is opposite to its division, refusal to cooperate, dissociation, rejection, or whatever name should be put on the expressions of hatred. We are all imperfect as human beings, and we must learn how to take each other as we are. The obvious precondition of this is the disapproval of any cult of hatred and cult of lies. It is a mistake to reject emotional illusions before they have fulfilled the purpose of making men see the nature and significance of emotionality. In a series of levels, illusions of lower kinds are replaced with illusions of ever higher kinds, and so have developed an effect. For example, it is a great step forward if the illusions of wealth, honor, power are superseded by the emotional adoration of a saint or a higher being. Emotionality is ennobled in stages. When a higher ideal has served its purpose, it is superseded by a still higher one, and this process goes on until man need no longer live in the world of imagination, but longs for that of reality. Emotionality is the world of ideals, and it is through ever higher ideals that man gradually is freed of the need of ideals. In mentality, love becomes the essential reality, knowledge of the love and application of the love becomes the determining factors. Refined manners and customs are of great significance, even in the cases where they are not matched by an understanding of the culture that was their origin.